Hello folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another modern video. Today we are going to be playing with Michael G's Doran the Siege Tower deck list. Now, in case you're not familiar with this card, it is a legendary creature that changes the rules of combat. Each creature assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. And we are also going to have Assault Formation in this deck list, which does the same thing. We are going to play a lot of 0 power creatures that have big butts. Spellskite as a 0/4, pretty respectable card. Spellskite as effectively a 4/4, all of a sudden, that is a lot of value packed into one card. And we can also do some things like play Tower Defense. Creatures, not one, creatures you control get +0/+5 and gain reach until the end of turn. Now, this is a 2 mana, effectively +5 to attack. That is pretty insane. Like, that is a ridiculous anthem, and you would probably have to be at 5 or 6 mana in order to get to some similar overrun effect that could do the same thing. We are also playing Mardu Ascendancy in this deck list, which whenever a non-token creature you control attacks, you get a 1/1 goblin token that's attacking. The kicker here is that you can sacrifice Mardu Ascendancy to give creatures you control +0/+3 until end of turn. While that's normally not that big, when that is +0/+3 and they also assign their they assign their damage using their toughness instead, all of a sudden that's pretty neat. We do have Treefolk Harbinger, so that we can actually find our Dorans. And we do have, I believe it is 10 mana dorks in order to make this mana base work. So we are sort of a base Abzan deck to play Doran, but we also have Mardu Ascendancy. So mana is going to be stretched a little tight here. As far as the sideboard goes, very noticeably, we do have a Gigantha. We are able to make that work given our mana requirements of the deck. Just having a free 5/5 that we can ramp out early after we draw a handful of mana dorks is pretty legit. Otherwise, we just have answers to specific problems. Things like Rest in Peace, Stony Silence. We have Leyline of Sanctities for if we get paired against something like Burn. And I'm pretty excited to try this one out. I don't think I've ever played a Doran deck for the channel, so this is something new and exciting for me. I've played one at the kitchen table before, but that's about it. As a quick thank you before we get started, I just want to thank everyone who donated. The donation queue was looking a little empty last week, and then I got like 12 donations over the weekend once people heard the word was out that the donation queue was looking a little sad. So thank you for that. I'll kind of do a little picking and choosing at first. They were all basically submitted within 48 hours. So the queue will work roughly from the top, but I'm going to jump around a little bit because I'm a little time crunched right now. So I'll probably play some of the finished deck lists first and then mess with some of the ones that need editing. All right, no more hubbub here needed. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing for sweet legacy, modern, and vintage content. And if you're a regular, throw me a like before we get started. It's the easiest way to support my content for free. Let's fight. All right, so essentially I have a turn 3 5/5 that will be backed up by double Giver of Runes and Ornithopter that'll be able to attack in the air. I think this hand is keepable. Okay. Stomping Grounds. Are we looking at some sort of Valakut deck? Crashing Footfalls. It is Rhino time. I don't need a Treefolk Harbinger right now. I think I will go ahead and play out a Giver of Runes. These are going to be kind of important to stop these rhinos that are ultimately going to be coming. This I can just get tapped next turn. Yeah, that should be fine. Pick this up now. Do a Giver of Runes and an Ornithopter. So my opponent will imminently have some rhinos, but I am going to have the bigger creature and a couple layers of protection. I don't know that I'm super scared about just rhinos happening. The next turn I can get the Murmuring Bosk and actually have it come into play untapped. Oh, that tower defense is going to kill my opponent dead. Yeah. Alright. So I'll grab this. I'll reveal my Treefolk. I'll play a new Giver of Runes. Do this without costing me anything. Ooh, and this gets a Treefolk or a Forest. Actually, do I even want that? Do I want another 0-3, which will really be a 3-3? I don't think I do. Like, I can get a second Doran in case one gets countered. I'll at least take a quick look here. The Doran might be important enough that I just go grab another. I'm not familiar enough with, like, what counter spells my opponent has access to. And I'm not going to take any attack with the Giver of Runes here. Okay. And this is why a Giver of Runes is bad. There's another target creature. It is no Mother of Runes. I'll still have one active one. Okay, sure. I mean, do your thing. I can't stop it if you can just cascade into another set of rhinos. Okay, it's just a seasoned pyromancer. Yeah, okay, sure. Oh, fuck me. That's bad, though. Actually, it's not quite as bad as it looks. It's only a 2 for 2. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. So, I will pay my 2 life here. So green, white, and it'll cost me a black for this. I played Doran. This Treefolk Harbinger is now effectively a 3-3. And I'm good with crashing in with it. My opponent trades both for it. That's fine. They don't. Okay, I might kill my opponent before the rhinos actually arrive with tower defense. I have 18 damage next turn, in theory. Are we willing to go for that? Probably willing to go for that. Battle. Okay. So my opponent gets 2 4/4s. Okay. Then they get bigger. So my Doran just kills that rhino as of right now. Is it worth saving this Harbinger? I don't think it's worth saving this. I think I just let my opponent keep that rhino. And then I just play 2 new creatures and try the same sort of thing next turn. Rhinos here don't have haste or anything. Yeah, I think I'm just good with that. Okay. And now I will play a Giver. Okay. This one was very much not over. And there I'm wrong. Okay. Good game. Okay, I've kept my opening hand here. I'm going to lead on a Mana Dork. And then next turn, I can play a Treefolk Harbinger into a second one and just kind of set up. Yeah, Ragavan, eat a couple of high toughness creatures. Get wrecked, friend. Alright, so let's go ahead and fetch. We'll grab the Murmuring Bosk. I'll reveal a Treefolk. I will play this. Yes, I will use this ability. I will grab a Doran. And then I will play this second one. And I'm not going to do anything with this one. Alright, sounds good. I can take an attack in for 1 safely here. I don't care if this trades for Ragavan. Oh, wait, I do because... Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't. Okay. Hey, it's Doran. Alright, green, black, white. Doran. Hit for 6. Is this deck good? Is this deck actually good? Okay. You're dead. You're just gonna straight up die to a tower defense here. This is plus 10 damage. I mean, I guess I can attack. Yeah, but this is just 18 damage. Tower defense! Oh my god, this is great. Okay, playing against something Jund-ish. My rest in pieces are probably fine. Probably about it. I probably board in one of either Rest in Peace or Ensnaring Bridge, maybe not both. Doran dodging Lightning Bolt is pretty sick. I'm not super familiar with what modern Jund lists look like right now, but I'm pretty sure there is at least some sort of like Tarmogoyf level shenanigans, and Tarmogoyf is kind of a pain in the ass. Maybe I do board in both. Like, maybe don't play the Ornithopters, because they don't line up super well versus things like Ragavan and things of that nature that are going to be threatening me early. Although they are good against Edict effects, which I just saw my opponent have. So are these infinite 1-drops, though. I'd also like go down a Mardu Ascendancy and keep a couple Ornithopters. Yeah, maybe I want to play around Edicts a little bit by just keeping these. Yeah, I don't know. We'll get a feel for it though, probably pretty quickly. Also, is this camera normally a bit bigger? Something like that. Properly lined up now with this white edge. How's that? That's about right. I mean, I probably keep this. A little dependent on this noble hierarch living. But I have Rest in Peace. I have a Mana Dork. I have a Doran. There's a lot to like here. Alright. A Forest. What am I doing on turn 1? Am I playing the Giver of Runes so I can potentially trade with Ragavan? Or am I playing the Noble Hierarch to potentially just play either Doran or Rest in Peace plus Giver on turn 2? I want to play the Giver. I'm going to fetch and grab the Murmuring Bosk. Reveal the Doran to do that. And I'll go ahead and play this out. I would like my opponent to use resources answering this Giver so that my other stuff ends up being safer. Oh, just going in, huh? Sure, absolutely. Okay, a second Ragavan. Reasonable. The Hierarch time? Yeah, maybe Hierarch and a tapped land is fine this turn. A little awkward because like I have multiple 3s and 2s. Okay, yeah. I'm taking this one. Maybe I fetch first though, and like pull the land out of my deck that I want to get. Probably a Temple Garden. Alright, so the Ragavan hits me for 2. They find a Doran. That is horrifying. Eh. Shit. That is quite bad. Ensnaring Bridge, Rest in Peace, and Doran, don't save me from that. We'll figure something out. I'm gonna play land. I'm gonna play Ornithopter. Oh man, I like really don't want to trade Dorans. I think I'm gonna have to take some damage from my opponent's Doran. But here's mine. I could also just chump with this Ornithopter here. Oh, I chump with the Ornithopter, or do I want to trade Dorans? I could also just try to race my opponent and like rack back for 7. I don't think that ends up working most of the time. I think I'm gonna trade Dorans and then try to just get to the point where Ensnaring Bridge stops Ragavan. Okay, never mind. Alright, there goes one of my Rest in Pieces. There goes the other one. Okay. I mean, I am happy that this Ensnaring Bridge is going into play. Alright, so there it is. Here's a Bird of Paradise. It kind of feels like my opponent is going to have an Abrupt Decay. It's like they intentionally did not take Ensnaring Bridge, so like maybe there's a world where I'm supposed to leave this Ornithopter back to chump block, but that's not really getting me to a winning position. I'm just gonna take this hit and hope that it's not as bad as last time. It's pretty bad. That makes that Ragavan even more threatening than it was. Alright. Life's bad. No power here. Like, I can crash in for 1, but this Ragavan is gonna bully me. I'll take 3 here from this attack. I don't think I want to start chumping yet. Ugh. Well, they probably won't want to play that. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna want to play that. That enables my shenanigans too much. Okay, this will kill my opponent if I can get a Doran, and I have enough mana to do that. A Doran or an Assault formation will lead to my opponent being dead. Alright, down to 12. Opponent didn't use their mana though, so I'm expecting some shenanigans at my end step here. Oh yeah. Here, what is it? I mean, yeah, that's happening. I could save one of them with tower defense, but I don't think that's worth doing. Like, I gotta win the game somehow. 4 mana Bloodbraid into another Culligan's Command. Okay, alright. I shouldn't have F6'd there. I could have cast this to save this, but I was planning on conceding anyway, so, like, that's fine. Alright, I could play a Path to help answer Ragavans. The Ornithopters weren't seeming particularly great. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Oh, I think I forgot I got my Gigantha that game. Maybe that one was closer to winnable than I gave it credit for. Alright. Land, Hierarch, go. I'm gonna pop this out so I don't forget it. Alright. We'll see if we're facing down like Ragavan or discard. We're hoping it's Ragavan this time because I only have one good card in my hand. Okay, cool. So I will play Murmuring Bosk, reveal Doran, green, white, black, cast Doran. And I'm pretty close to lethal next turn. Ooh, that's not good. Alright, I have one choice. Now my opponent gets in there with Ragavan, unfortunately. Uh, that's an actual removal spell here. Oh, but my opponent didn't go for it. That's pretty lucky for me. Alright. I have 5 mana available this turn. I'm just trying to figure out which land I play. So this is the 3 mana that I'm going to use. I can just go ahead and play the tapped land here. So no on that. Crash in with a Noble Hierarch, and I can yield to these triggers. And my opponent will take a few points of damage. We have theoretical lethal next turn, I believe. Do I want to get rid of my Noble Hierarch here? My Ignoble Hierarch, rather. I can just trade for Ragavan. It is 3 to do this? Yeah, I think I'm just taking this hit. Which is a little crazy, because, like, you know, it's a Ragavan. Alright, great. They just hit a land. That's fine. A shock. God damn it. That was in your hand before. You're really willing to, like... Okay. Alright. Alright, so something else is coming. Oh, shit. Okay. That's quite bad. That's why they were willing to do this. Alright. Not the best situation. I can hold up 3 mana in order to, like, save this thing from a ping. That's, I guess, fine. So I guess I'll put this into my hand. And hold up activating this. I could also try to, like, attack Ren with this. Nah. Situation's just bad. Because if I don't attack, then this Grist is just going to minus attack this, kill that. Yeah, life's bad. Attack the Grist. Probably get a chump block. Yeah. I really want... I can tower defense and save this from a Ren activation. I don't think I really want, though. I think this is instead going to be a situation where I just take 1 damage from this Ragavan. Oh no, this is not symmetrical. Yeah, this is U control. Alright. Annoying. Okay, they're just taking a land rather than killing this. I don't know how I feel about that. But, like, I'm sitting here looking at the tower defense in my hand, so, like, there's that. Okay. Yeah, their decision was fine. Just getting fucking owned by planeswalkers here. So, like, now I'm going to play a 5/5 and it's just going to get killed by Grist. If I don't draw a second creature... No, even if I do draw a second creature, it's just like ping, kill, plus sacrifice the next time around. Yeah, I think I'm dead. I'll take a draw step to see if something changes my mind, but... yeah, that does not change my mind. Alright, we got Junded. Alright, I've kept my opening hand here. I have a turn 2 Doran, which is exactly the sort of thing that I'm looking to do. Okay. I'll put my companion into my hand on turn 2. Oh, just taking a bird. Surprising. And that just may mean that they have more discard for next turn. I guess that's fine. I'll grab the Murmuring Bosk, reveal the Doran that they already know about, and play this bird. Wonder what we're playing against. I don't see Dark Slick Shores very much. Oh, well, there's another one. Okay, yeah. Goodbye, Doran. And oh, okay. I get it. I figured out the sort of thing that I'm playing against. Oh, an assault formation is on top. They can force me to shuffle. That is a thing that can occur. Yeah, I'm just gonna hope that I get to draw that. I don't think I'm gonna put the companion into my hand this turn. I think I'm just gonna, like, get stuff onto the board and start sending this sideways. Wanna take advantage of my damage while I can. Okay. Codex Shredder plus Lantern plus second Lantern. Okay. Things are gonna get weird. I guess there's a theoretical time Let me draw that assault formation. My deck is quite clearly built around it. Oh, I see. They're looking at a prismatic ending of their own, which complicates things. Okay, they let me have it. I'm willing to take this 1 damage, right? Yeah, yeah. Yeah. No. Get you for 3. You're down to 14. You can draw a prismatic ending and get rid of this assault formation. Okay. Like, this is just around. Okay, goodbye. Alright, I draw an ornithopter. That's fine. Alright, yeah. Yeah. I will go ahead and just put this in my hand. Can't cast it this turn, but I still think it's correct to go ahead and put it in my hand. I'll just bash in for 1. I don't think I want to muck around with using this Horizon Canopy yet. I can use it in some pretty interesting spots later to try and draw a card when my opponent is trying to mill it. Yeah. Do I get to draw Treefolk Harbinger? Slash, do I want to draw Treefolk Harbinger? I don't think that's worth blowing the Horizon Canopy on. Okay. Sure. Play this. I'm just going to do everything pre-combat here. I don't know what I need to be playing around. So I am just going to jam it now. I'll leave up the ability to draw something. Back with an Ornithopter. Slow beats. But we will be able to beat through something like an Ensnaring Bridge if my opponent puts that into play. I also just have a ton of power. Okay. Alright, there's the upkeep. Sure. Alright, here's another thing that mucks with top of library. That's fine. Sure. Alright, good stuff. Opponent's already on a 2-turn clock. That Spellskite is very good. I will probably want to draw and get that. So here's 6 damage. Putting my opponent to 5. Now, if I try to draw, I can make my opponent sack and shuffle. Because they can't just mill me right now. I think I'm going to go ahead and attempt to draw this. I feel like this... Oh, nope. Opponent F6 there. Cool. We got an active Spellskite as protection. Ooh, main deck Grafdigger's Cage. Sure. Yeah, we can exile some things face down. Okay, there's an Ensnaring Bridge. But you can't draw it. I believe this is just the end. Okay. There is some improvisation. So that'll be an Ensnaring Bridge. Which isn't actually a problem because I have a Noble Hierarch. Sure. Crashing with something random, it doesn't really matter. Go, Spellskite. My faithful steed. Opponent goes to 3. Prismatic Ending is a little annoying because it halves my damage, but my opponent's still on a 3-turn clock. That's fine. My opponent's not really at the point where they have mana to use to return things via Codex Shredder yet. Yeah. Not an issue. Oh, I could have Spellskited. But, like, the last Noble Hierarch is the thing that matters. Sure. Crashing with an Ornithopter this time. Alright. That's fine. Okay, they've got a Prismatic Ending on top now. I will have to answer that via Spellskite. Alright, I should just, like, move these. Confusing. Yeah. 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 Okay. So here's my Giver of Runes. I'll attack for 1. Fetch lands are off the table if my opponent has fetch lands. Okay, so they did that for X equals 2. I'll Spellskite this. Use blue. Loop it on over to Spellskite. And that should be the win there. Okay. More milling. Okay. Yep. Alright, good stuff. Stony Silence sounds great to me. I'll absolutely play those. I think I'll absolutely board my Ensnaring Bridges out. That's a 1-for-1. Ley Lines? Like, do I even want to bother? Some of that stuff is target player. I'm just not sure if I want to bother. It also does stop the discard. Yeah, this is probably good enough. Like, I don't know that I mulligan towards it, but I think it's fine being in the deck. I could board out Spellskite since I'm boarding in Stony Silence, but if I have Stony Silence, like... this will shut off Giganta if I do this. That is a real cost. Huh. Huh. I think Giganta's really good. Yeah, alright, maybe I don't. Unsure. Modern people who regularly play versus this deck, let me know how impactful this card is. 'Cause I don't know how to weigh the ability to shut off, like, discard and some of the library manipulation stuff versus, like, just having a threat that survives a stream of Thought Seizes. They're not always going to have the Ensnaring Bridges. Welcome to Deck Building Tension 101. This hand is great. I'm very happy with this hand because it's redundant and, oh god, especially now. Yeah, beautiful. Alright. Temple Garden, yes. Ignoble Hierarch, Ornithopter. This is probably going to be a turn 3 Goldfish if my opponent doesn't do anything too crazy here. Fatal Push is fine. Alright. Sure, that's fine. Alright, get this one into play. Double Hierarch, or put the Assault Formation into play and attack for 2. It's a question of, like, how do I want to play around stuff. Double Hierarch also attacks for 2. It just means that my Assault Formation is more vulnerable to discard. I think I'm fine with that. It's hard to say, but this feels good. It just gets more bodies on board. It gets more mana on board. Yeah, Prismatic Ending is fine. Alright, also, can, like, we make these cards the same size? A Spellskite. Sure. Go ahead and play this. And play the Assault Formation. Do I want to deal 10 this turn? Well, actually, it would be more than 10 if my opponent doesn't block. The Spellskite makes this weird. I think I'll save this for next turn. I'll just crash in like this. Deal to that. Deal 4 to my opponent. And then have tower defense or shenanigans. I guess I could have pumped for 1 more damage. Okay. And treat Pyrite Spellbomb like a weird... Where's this going? Going on a Hierarch. Okay. Bob's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and activate. This isn't worth the life. Yeah, okay. That's all fine. Opponent doesn't have the red mana to activate this right now. Alright, I have drawn a new Assault Formation, which doesn't do much right now. Probably attack with both of these and see what my opponent does. And, alright, opponent going for the double block. I am going to kill both of these. I will tower defense. Not worth lethal levels of damage or anything, but it's a pretty good trick here. Who is this targeting? Targeting them, sure. Okay. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. I will clear the board. I think I will use one of these to just draw this Ornithopter here. I will cast this Ornithopter, and then it matters less if my opponent just Pyrite Spellbombs one of them away. I also wouldn't mind drawing this Spellskite. I don't know that my opponent will let me. It's, yeah, kind of a pain in the butt. Ooh, a Prismatic Ending. I can break up this crap at the very least. Alright, play that land. I'm gonna lose one of these creatures. Oh, okay, my opponent is just gonna concede. Yeah, they're rapidly drawing. Yeah, they did not have enough control on this game, so I had 5 damage this turn, plus however much extra I got off of an Assault Strobe. GG's. Alright, my opponent is playing a Luris deck of some kind here. My opening hand is pretty medium looking. Like, if the Ensnaring Bridge locks my opponent out, it's super cool. But otherwise, like, there's basically nothing going on with this hand. I'm going to try to find something more powerful. This is a below average 6 that can answer something like a turn 1 Ragavan or Goblin Guide while still also kind of doing my thing. I think I'm just going to keep this. It is not necessarily going to do my thing, but I can maybe just, like, play a reasonable game of Magic and then shit a 5/5, and that wins some portion of the time. Okay, so we are potentially just playing against a Luris burn deck. Yep. Oh, but just no immediate turn 1 play. Oh, the Doran is sick here. I don't need a Murmuring Bosk on one. I can just do this. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Not bad. It feels like my opponent is double queuing. Alright, so there's a second land into Searing Blaze. That's inconvenient for me. How am I going to take the least amount of damage this game? It's probably just by fetching a Temple Garden, honestly. I think I will just do so. No. I'll play a new Ornithopter. No need to get cheeky and attack with the Ornithopter for no reason. So then I'll just play a Doran next turn. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's not an issue. Green, black, white. I'm good with this. I'll attack for 4 in the air. And now we're at the same life total. I also can attack in safely, or sorry, I can also block safely with the Eidolon if my opponent attacks in, because I can just play Assault Formation to go like right back to attacking with these Ornithopters. Yeah, okay, so there's the attack. I am fine taking the Eidolon and 1 card out of their hand for this. 5, 6, okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can have them dead in 2 turns, or I can have them... I'll just take this. Have them dead in 2 turns. Yeah, I'll just take it. Yeah. Alright, so they hit my Doran. They hit my Doran again. I can just play Assault Formation and attack for 4. This is going to be a tight race. I can also just take a turn off from attacking and exile the Eidolon. I will have 4 and then 6, so I do have lethal in 2 turns. Just 3 or less. If I draw another land, I can Prismatic Ending for 4 and do that without actually taking anything. I'm just gonna Ending away this card. Nothing good probably comes from that thing staying in play for me. I go to 10, I'll stay outside of immediate range of just like dying to a couple of bolts. When I start going below 8, that's when things get scary, because then things like Double Boros Charm can get me. I'm still fine against the Lurrus that is imminent. But I still have another Prismatic Ending. Okay, there's the damage from that. I'll go ahead and pass the turn. At the end of the day, my companion is bigger than theirs. Okay, there's a first Boros Charm. I guess I can die to double live spell here. Alright, there's a cycle. That's a Goblin Guide. Suspend a Rift Bolt. Do I go to 4? Probably go to 4, and then just attack them back. If they draw a live spell, I'm in trouble. But if they draw a live spell, like, it'll do 3 or more damage anyway. Yeah, I'll go to 4. One of the big differences is just like whether or not a Goblin Guide actually kills me. Spellskite. A little awkward. So always Prismatic Ending this and kill it. Goodbye. Now, do I play Spellskite? I think I just play Assault Formation and attack. And hope to find a bit of damage somewhere. I'm not going to play around a Goblin Guide off the top. I think I just need to get my opponent dead. If I was at a slightly higher life total, or if I had access to blue mana off like a bird or something, I would 100% just jam the Spellskite. But now it's at the point that after that Rift Bolt goes off, I'd be at 2. Okay, it is a Lightning Helix. Thalavi. Yeah, so if I put the Spellskite in play, I still die to that. Pull one of these back, I still die to that. Was close on the margins there. Leyline of Sanctity sounds great. That means no Gigantha. Do I have time for Ensnaring Bridge? I don't know that I have time for Ensnaring Bridge. Like, I can't just hide behind that. My opponent will shoot burn spells at my face until I die. Probably get rid of some of the top end here, and I could also potentially play this Path to Exile to help out with things like Lurrus. They drew 2 Prismatic Endings that game, but that is not going to be the norm. I'll just like make it so that I don't have to ever worry about red mana here. All right. Yeah, this is fine. I'll keep this. I believe that I will just play my 0-3 out on turn 1. And I'll use this to tutor up a good old Doran. And I'll play out an Ornithopter. I don't have the possibility of a turn turn 2 Doran with this hand. Unless I, like, just randomly spiked one off the top of my deck. I set it up with this. Alright, so play a Bird of Paradise here, and I'll just batch. I think I can just get Overgrown Tomb here. I don't need the Murmuring Bosk. We'll see if this Rift Bolt goes to one of my creatures or if it just goes to my dome. I imagine it probably goes to my dome, but, you know, once Doran is in play, my opponent is getting attacked for 6 next turn, so, like, there is that. I guess there's also worlds where my opponent could have 2 1-mana things that could hit Doran, and then stuff gets a little weird. Okay, yeah, they are conceding that they do need to attack my creatures. Okay, Searing Blaze is not bad at all. So this can get a basic to save me life. Oh, I guess Murmuring Bosk is just better, right? Just a forest that also has upside. Alright, so green, black, white, Doran, 7U. Or sorry, 2U. Next turn I have 7, 17. Okay, they do have 2 things for Doran. You just lightning bolted pre-combat? Now I just don't block. That was floppy. Okay. Sure. You have like a spectacle lightning bolt? Sure. Alright. Do a thing. Do a thing. I'll crash in. I have Gigantha coming in the not too distant future. And ripping any sort of Doran effect also will just kill my opponent. Okay. Sure. Okay. Ow. So Goblin Guide crashes in. Reveals Assault Formation. Yeah, my opponent is just dead. Yep, my opponent is just dead. Okay, I go to 5. Yeah, you can draw your card. Alright. I play Assault Formation. I attack with 2 creatures. You don't block. Unless your top card is something batshit insane like a Gut Shot. I win. Tower Defense. Take 13. Good stuff. I don't think I'm going to change anything about my sideboarding, although I'd like to correct a claim because I boarded in ley lines. I didn't actually have Gigantha coming down a little bit later. Do I want to play Ranger of Eos as one more piece of gas? Just fetches up a few jump blockers. I don't think that I do. The stuff that's in the deck is fine. This is a turn 2 Doran hand that doesn't have too much else going on. I think a Leyline hand is better than this hand, but I think I'm still going to keep this. Like, if I play a Doran and it gets answered, that is effectively gaining 6 life on turn 2. That's fine. Okay. Tapped land. I will play out some critters. Yeah, and yeah. We'll see if my bird makes it around the table so that I get turn 2 Doran plus attack with Ornithopter. Like, I know my opponent is playing Searing Blaze effects, so there's some chance that it doesn't happen. Alright, new land. Okay, there is a Searing Blaze. That's fine. I'll just take this opportunity to play a tapped land, I think. And we'll grab an Overgrown Tomb and call it a turn. Okay, what do you got? Sure. And more. And more. Okay. That's definitely spooky. Alright, a second Doran is quite good. Alright, so green, white, black, big dumb idiot, crash in with Ornithopter. I can die to 2 spells on my opponent's turn. They're going to be at 17, and they're going to take 17 next turn. So someone is dead in the next turn cycle. This tower defense is a hell of a drug. Alright, so do you have like Boros Charm plus another Spectacle card? You do not. Okay, so they have to have a Lightning Bolt to kill this Ornithopter or they die. Alright. I guess I could also have like a Path to Exile. Swing. Alright, they do have Path to Exile, so they get a redraw. Yes, I will use this ability. I'll pick up a forest. So that's no damage. I will play a new Doran. They get their draw step plus this card to kill me. Alright, their draw step didn't do it. Seems like this card didn't either. Alright. Send them in. At the exile or lightning bolt beats me. Alright. Rough. I mean, I guess my opponent had to have something, because, like, they had multiple cards in hand that weren't killing me. But now these tower defenses don't do anything. Am I dead? That alone does not kill me. That does not kill me either. Does put me to 1. Although I don't know that my opponent is supposed to attack with both of those. No, it's probably fine. Alright. I'm at 1. Fetches are now dead cards. I can draw a Doran or an assault thingy. It is a tower defense. Well. I die to the Monastery Swift Spear attack. GG's. Alright, we are playing against another Luris deck. I am on the play. I really need another mana source to make this hand work. I can Treefolk Harbinger and just use that to get another forest, and then I do have a second land. Maybe that means that this is a keep. I have 2 assault formations. Sure. Like, this blocks an early Goblin Guide if I am playing against that sort of deck. I'll just grab a basic forest with this first one to minimize the damage that I'm taking. And then, yes. I have the Mardu Ascendancy to worry about, but I think I'm pretty far away from realistically casting that. I just grab forest. I'll probably just grab a Temple Garden here. Yeah, I'm good with just Temple Garden here. Okay. Dealing with something else. Some sort of affinity-esque deck. I'm fine with them drawing cards. Unsure. I don't know enough about what they're playing. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And I'm just gonna cast this and start going to town on my opponent's life total. You can have your card. I'll take my lightning bolt worth of damage. I think that with the other stuff that I've got going on here, not gonna matter how many cards my opponent has. Oh, Ink Moth. Interesting. Okay. If that's Cauldron, it's not actually scary as long as I draw a land. Oh, it is hammer time. Okay. So how does this card work again? It's been a little while. Okay, they have to have a way to attach it. Sure. I'll take my 1 damage. All right. So there's that. Bridge immediately. All right. The cards. I mean, I'm playing the bridge anyway. And I'll hit for my 3. I need my next fetch land to get me a red source so I can play this Mardu Ascendancy. All right, they can't have Cauldron if they have Luris. That's how cards work. Okay. So this is Metalcraft. Equip cost 0. All right. I mean, sure, there's Metalcraft, but I have an Ensnaring Bridge. I guess it kind of deters me from attacking, because they will have something with a real big butt. Also, like, lol at Esper Sentinel with that on it. Okay. Yeah, so they missed out on a point of damage by actually equipping that there. Oh, they missed out on multiple points of damage by not turning creatures sideways. I'm good with that. Alright, so I will play Ignoble Hierarch and Giver of Runes here. I think I just need to get this Giver active. This is probably going to turn into a very long game. Alright. You can have some cards. That's fine. So I guess theoretically I could also die to 10 points of yeah, I mean, like, take cards out of my hand and make my Ensnaring Bridge better. I'm good with that. Yep, alright. That was my 1 card that I couldn't reasonably cast. Good with that. Well, I guess after the Ignoble Hierarch is around, I can cast it. Alright. So this is the turn that I get to go Hellpent. There's a couple of those around. Alright. I guess I'll fetch. Is it fine to do this? It's probably fine to do this. So there's a 1/1, there's a huge, and there's another 1/1. I will not pay 11 generic mana to prevent that. I will pay 1 for this, and 1 for this. I don't know if my opponent's deck, like, has Prismatic Ending in the main deck. Slash, I also don't know if they can get this out of play some other way. Sure. I guess I could have attacked last turn, given protection from white, and crashed in, try to force the chump on the Memnite. Yeah, that's probably more important than leaving up protection from any of this stuff. Ah, instant speed equip, huh? Okay, no, they don't have an Ornithopter yet. Yeah, I can die to an Ornithopter. Okay, let's do this. Give this protection from white. Crash in. My opponent will chump. That's fine. Yeah, they could have 0 Memnites right now instead of 1 Memnite. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, new Ink Moth. That represents more chumps. That's a few card draws. Sure. They only have access to 1 black mana right now, so I don't have to worry about... Oh, that's +1/+0. That is not going to trade with my shit. That's actually really funny. Am I fine with creating a 1/1 that is tapped and attacking? Yes, my opponent does not have any lifelinky stuff right now. Though it doesn't really accomplish a ton. Is it better to just hold up assault formation activations? Take this, I guess. I guess I need to get it out of my hand regardless. But I can probably do it in second main phase just fine. It's like the 1/1 is just 100% dead on board. Battle. Yep, I am good with that. You deal 1 damage to my creature. So now I will do this post combat. Can't pay for the 11, but I can pay for the other 2. Alright. A new Memnite. There's Luris going to hand. Oh. Yeah, that's the sort of thing that makes this Mardu Ascendancy actively bad. But I really need to get it out of play, because otherwise, like, I'm going to die to this cranial plating. I might need to just sit around for a while. My opponent has fewer cards. I can just deck my opponent. Alright, cool. Alright, where is it? Okay. Oh, the Shadow Spear is just going on the Memnite? Sure. Yeah, I think the Shadow Spear should have gone somewhere else. Okay, Stoneforge. Probably just grabs another hammer. Yep. Alright. Yeah, so I'll just crash. Why did this die? Memnite had 1 power. It was an X1. It had cranial plating on it. Oh fuck, this one is not symmetrical. This is not Doran. Okay, that's why it died. Alright, I can attack in and then activate an assault formation for 3 mana. Attack in, 3 mana, activate that, 2 mana, do the thing. At this point, maybe my attacks don't even matter. At least not for right now. Oh, okay. So my opponent has lots of ways to draw cards now off these things. Yeah, maybe I'm just chilling now. My Mardu Ascendancy makes things kind of awkward. This may be a situation where I like find a tower defense and then I try to kill my opponent. All right, look at top 4, reveal an artifact, put it in your hand, put some counters on this. Sure. Okay, that is an Ornithopter. Does this give my stuff reach? No. I'm going to die to instant speed cranial plating equip, aren't I? Yet. Okay. Sigarda's Aid also can be absolute shenanigans. Yeah. Bird! My opponent can combine Shadow Spear plus Cranial Plating. Oh, no, they can't attack. They can't get the trample. Yeah, good stuff. Alright. Built. Yeah, so now I can just block Ornithopter with Bird and then protect from artifacts. I'll make my block here. Okay, you can equip that. I'll give this protection from artifacts. Or from colorless, rather. So then I'll click this. And buff up my bird. Okay. You can get big, that's fine. You still don't trample. Alright. You are a bird with a hammer. Sort of an oxymoron there. Very big bird. I take no damage. Nice. Alright, another smith is fine. Yeah, I mean, some ornithopters might be slightly annoying, but otherwise I might have this handled. So my opponent has Metalcraft, so they can move the equipment around and attempt something similar again. So I do have to leave the bird back. I can't just start attacking with the bird yet. When I get a second flyer, though, I can get cheeky. This league was going so quickly. Thought this would be a night where I got to record 2 leagues. Wrong. Yeah, so like basically Ensnaring Bridge is pretty good in this matchup, is how I'm feeling. I guess I should like check to make sure I don't have like lethal randomly. I have 2 with an attack on a bird, and I have 6 mana. I could have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I very much don't have lethal, especially considering Shadow Spear on this block. So yeah, I guess I'll stay the course. Urza Saga ticks up. The constructs don't matter. Like, if the Ensnaring Bridge ever leaves play, which it seems like it's not going to, I'm already good. This Urza Saga can fetch up another Ornithopter, though, and then that starts to get a little annoying. Okay. There's a land. Again, just check for lethal. 3. Activate this twice. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still not lethal. I guess I could play my companion. 1, 2, 3 to put in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, nope. Guess I don't get to do that. Oh, okay. So that thing can continue growing. Alright. So I assume this just gets another Ornithopter. I don't think I care if my opponent... I guess Pithing Needle is kind of fucky, huh? I guess let's give protection from artifacts now in case my opponent Pithing Needle is a giver of runes. Don't know if that's something that is in main decks in this format. What did my opponent even get? Okay, second Ornithopter. Okay, new Colossus Hammer. I'm going to be surprisingly close to decking my opponent if they kill me. So I need to draw another flyer, basically. Okay. I should probably fetch to thin here. Sure. I guess every time this happens, this is just another look at an Ornithopter. Yeah. I don't know that I want any outs to that other Ornithopter. Now I just block one and the others get through. I guess I can draw a tower defense and maybe my opponent doesn't block and I kill them or something. I'll grab this land. And we'll see what happens. It's only the cranial plating that's a problem right now, right? Cranial plating is the only thing that can be attached at instant speed currently. Yes. This loses flying. These still have flying. I think I need to sacrifice this. And then attack with my bird. And hope my opponent doesn't have another cranial plating. Give protection from colorless ahead of time. So that opponent can't just like chump block with an ink moth and then try to 2-turn my opponent. Yeah. Sacrifice that. Then my opponent can't gain life off of the Shadow Spear. Give protection from artifacts. Or colorless. Crash in. At least 7 damage on the surface. Activate this once. Turn it into 8 damage. And activate this a second time. Turn it into 9 damage. Put my opponent to 3. Prismatic Ending away. Cranial Plating. My opponent gets to draw a few new cards. They could find another Cranial Plating. I don't know how many copies of that card is in my opponent's deck. But I bet it's one, right? It's probably a Stoneforge target. Alright. What a fucking wild game. Oh my gosh. Holy shit. I am so pleased. What a game. That was awesome. Okay. My opponent has disconnected. I assume that they're just rebooting Magic Online. Alright, I want another Ensnaring Bridge. I want a Path to Exile. I want a couple copies of Stony Silence. The Ranger of Eos is kind of tempting, honestly. Like, I could just use that to draw a couple of blockers. That's not that bad. Due to my opponent's Shadow Spear, I don't want this Mardu Ascendancy. So that's my starting point for this. And then I don't know from there. Like, my cards are reasonable. The flyers were really important that game as that game drug on to eons and eons and eons. So I'm not sure that I can cut any flyers. Maybe I just cut one Hierarch. One ignoble Hierarch. That's reasonable. I don't know. It just, like, cutting Mana Dorks. Maybe I cut an Ornithopter. The Mana Dorks seem pretty important to get, like, a Doran down or an Ensnaring Bridge down on turn 2. I also could just cut a Spellskite. I don't think that works with their equipment the way I want it to. I don't think you just get to, like, whoop, it's mine now. Not 100% sure off the top of my head with some of these reattachy things. I'm going to keep it in the deck. And I'll just read the cards as they happen. I don't know the exact wording of some of these things, like Sigarda's Aid. Okay. So, I have double tower defense and an assault formation and a 1-drop. Is this good enough? Honestly, probably not. Like, there's a lot of things that I can draw that make this hand great, and then there's a lot of times where I just, like, die because I don't draw. I think I'm just gonna try to find something a little. This is the same hand. This is the same hand, but on 6. Technically worse. I don't really think this wins. Yeah, like, an ensnaring bridge hand is where I wanna be. I will put back 1 land and the assault formation then? I think I'll put back the assault formation in case my bird, like, randomly dies to, like, a dispatch or something. Alright, there's your land. And, oh, you can keep going. Okay, sure. Alright, a hierarch. That's not bad at all. I think I will just go ahead and shock here. And I'll play the hierarch. Alright, Urza Saga. What are we dealing with? Sure. I mean, creatures that get bigger are good for me. A Shadow Spear. Sure, sure, sure. I'll empty my hand pretty quickly. Okay. That's fine. Play double bird. And then go for Ensnaring Bridge the following turn. Or do I just play the bridge now? I guess the bridge now doesn't actually do a ton. If they just have the hammer in hand, they attack with it, and then I take a billion damage. Yeah. I think I will just go bird, bird, and then just fetch another land. I shouldn't do this with this timing. But honestly, I'm going to try to do a couple of little things that conserve some clock in case we end up in another grind fest behind an ensnaring bridge. Alright, I'll take 2-ish damage here. Could be like 12 instead. Okay, sure, that's fine. Ingenious Smith is a really cool addition to this deck. I haven't seen this card before. Okay. Yeah, that's all fine. Now I go yeah, and yeah. And I can go ahead and just pay for this, that's fine. And we're doing this shit again. Am I attacking for 1? Sure. Yes, get in the hits where I can. Opponent goes to 21. They'll make a construct. Is that no card put in hand? Yeah, I think that was no card put in hand. Okay. You've got a hammer. Alright. Oh, okay. So this is something that exists in the post-sideboard games. So I am just dead to that. Very, very, very dead. Alright, so now my opponent actually has answers to my bullshit. It's not like game 1. Alright, I don't think I'll be changing anything here. The Spellskite's stopping that line specifically is something that makes it pretty good. Alright, we have no creatures in this hand. This is no good. This hand is totally fine. I probably just throw back a land here. Throw back this Stomping Grounds. So let's just go stick it into bird. And then I have turn 2. Oh shoot, I thought this was the other card. That's a little worse than I thought it was. Okay, Prismatic Ending. Sure, sure, sure. Okay, you've got a bird. I have a Prismatic Ending of my own. I think I'm just going to play a Spellskite this turn. Just, like, get that effect in play, in case that becomes relevant. Alright, Urza Saga. That's really powerful here. Sunforge is also good. Alright, that is a Colossus Hammer. Okay, so I'm now in this situation where I can potentially activate a Spellskite to do some cool stuff, but not always. So if my opponent just equips something, the only legal targets are theirs, so I can't actually use a Spellskite. I guess I'm gonna do this and just attempt to get my Doran next turn. I just kind of hope that my opponent doesn't do anything cool. And if I can get my Doran, I can do cool things with it. Like, Doran into tower defense will kill in 2 turns. But if my opponent can get this Colossus Hammer in there, then that's bad for me. I'm not, like I said, I don't know the exact text of Sigarda's Aid, so I don't know if I can, like, snatch it with that. Like, I don't know if that's an attached to any creature sort of thing. Probably only their own creatures. Might not be able to snatch that, but I can stop some Prismatic Ending sort of things. Alright. Green, white, black. There's Doran. So my opponent can make a 4/4 creature, which my Spellskite could trade with. I would be good trading with that, because then I can prismatic ending away the other one. Yeah, I'm good with that. All right, this thing. All right, so here's the construct token. Oh, I miscounted. It's only a 3/3. Oh, I get to kill both of these. I do 2 damage to this, 2 damage to this. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I'm good with that. And now I just potentially have lethal next turn. There's also worlds where I just die here. Okay. New Urza Saga. All right. What comes next? A little bit of damage. Okay. So that means that my opponent just gets to equip this hammer. That's fine. This doesn't give trample or anything. Yeah. Okay. These extra chump blockers are scary. Oh, okay. Well, there's one going away. That's nice. But it loses flying. It loses flying. Okay, so I have to block this or I die. It's non-negotiable. So that means this goes here. Okay. I can just get rid of this Colossus Hammer. Okay, my opponent did not move it. Do I have a lethal line? I can prismatic away one blocker. No, I don't have a lethal line, so I'm going to need to get rid of the Colossus Hammer. Actually, technically, if my opponent doesn't block, I do have a lethal line, because it is exactly 16 damage. I have to shock in order to do that. Is that fine? It's probably fine. We'll take some bodies off the board, potentially. Knock my opponent off Metalcraft as well. Sure. Fatal Life. Send them. Okay. And just good with that. I don't think I need to deal 6 to my opponent. I'm just good with that. Okay. So now, just get rid of the hammer. And I can draw a card off Horizon Canopy if I really want to. I don't think I really want to. I value that land quite a bit. So in another turn, my opponent can get a new hammer, and then things get a little scary. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not worried about that. Unless that happens. Okay. Yep. I have no mana up, so I can't spike Path to Exile for a kill or anything. That's crushing. It was a hell of a grind. I'll just draw this, make sure I don't have any random thing. Nope. Alright, I'm dead. It's a shame. Like, if opponent didn't block last turn, I had it. We still get half our play points back, though. I consider that a win. Overall thoughts on the deck list? This was a really fun brew. I enjoyed this a lot. You can steal some wins with this. Granted, though, we did get some random concessions at times that we maybe didn't deserve them. But we were also really close to winning 2 of the ones that we lost. So kind of take that as you will. As far as changes to the deck list go, I don't know what should go in, but I kind of think the Mardu Ascendancy should go out. I get that it's kind of a mini anthem, but the random attacking creature tokens become liabilities against things like Shadow Spear or Batter Skull. That's something that's going on there. And it's also just making your mana a little bit harder than it needs to be. So I would look to find 3 other cards, maybe just some random creatures or something like that with big butts. Maybe you're, like a Wall of Blossoms or something like that is not crazy. And then remove the Stomping Grounds as well. Otherwise, I liked a lot of what was here, and I had a ton of fun playing this, and I hope you had a ton of fun watching it. If you did, throw me a like or a comment. Those are the easiest ways to support my content for free. And if you're really enjoying what's going on and you want to try this out yourself or put one of your own decks on the channel, excuse me, that information is available in the video description. Have a great rest of the night. See ya.